Well, that's right, Martin. As Rick and Bill alluded to, there are now 4 of these V8-powered BMWs in the field, and that's double the trouble for the Porsche camp. They're still up in arms that this V8-powered BMW can even run in the GT category, but they are here in force. In fact, they qualified 1 through 4. The Schnitzer Michelin-shod cars qualified on the pole with Dirk Mueller behind the wheel, and then the PTG cars are here with the Yokohama tires. They qualified 2nd and 3rd. Billy Oberlin doing the driving stint here in the number 10 machine. So there's going to be fireworks here this afternoon between the BMW boys in the GT category.
There's the 43, one of the factory BMWs alongside Bill Oberlin. Hans Stuck is next in line at a BMW. JJ Leto's 42 car, and then some of the other GT machines as they line up in the field here today. Today we've got a couple of rides in the BMWs, Bill Oberlin and Nick Johnson in the 10. That's one of the factory BMWs. Actually, Tom Milner's prototype group. The 43 machine, that's the other factory BMW, Dirk Mueller and Frederick Ekblom, and they line up in 12th spot today. And they will have a great run, I think, in that V8 powered machine. Let's check in on that battle, though, for GT dominance. The 4 factory-prepared BMWs that we talked about at the top of the broadcast. Well, Bill Oberlin's at the head of the class by a good bit over Dirk Mueller and JJ Leto. This is one of Tom Milner's PTG cars, so not a factory run team.
Now, right now, they're winning the battle of egos between the 4 BMW cars.
As we take a look at your GT class points in the American Le Mans Series, brought to you by BMW. Sasha Masson and Lucas Lohr, Randy Popes, those are Porsche-mounted drivers. And Boris Sett and Hans Stuck tied for 5th. They're a couple of the BMW pilots, and they drive for Tom Milner's Prototype Technologies team.
Excellent battles all the way through here.
Riding with Oberlin in the 10 car now. He is 11th overall and leading the GT category down the front straightaway, which, as you mentioned earlier, Bill, really isn't much of a front stretch. You kind of create an arc out of the final corner.
The whole course is just one long arc. You kind of go inside to outside edge. You're so rarely going in a straight line here.
Back at Sears Point Raceway in Sonoma, California, the American Le Mans Series on NBC Sports. Today, the X Factor Grand Prix of Sonoma. I'm Rick Benjamin, Bill Adam alongside. Calvin Fish, Martin Haven on pit road for us. We've had a cycle of pit stops, not quite to halfway today. And here's how things stack up right now. Emmanuel Pirro in the 2 car for the Audi team is out in front. Tom Christensen has just taken over the number 1 machine that led early from Dindo Capello. He has fallen back off of those pit stops to 2nd. David Brabham, Jan Magnussen still 3rd in their Panos machine. Andy Wallace, Johnny Herbert sit 4th in the champion.
Hence he'll be in the pits earlier. Then when Tom has to pit, he won't be in the pits as long. So they're hoping that strategy will pay out. And maybe that's why Tom is being so patient right now.
Lapping by Hans Stuck's GT BMW, the new GTR machine with the V8 power plant. Some controversy, as we told you at the top of the broadcast. Here's one of the other BMWs with the V8, the 43 car, currently 2nd in GT. The team car, the 42, with Jörg Mueller up, is leading that category. We'll show you more about the GT machines. Officials giving the privateer teams a little bit of extra incentive now, starting with this race. But let's show you what's going on in the GT category, the most populated category. 12 GT cars in the field today here at Sears Point. And there are the leaders, the 42 machine, one of the factory BMWs, the white car with the blue trim. 42 car at the moment being steered by Jörg Mueller. In that machine, JJ Leto started the car. Here's Frederick Ekblom in the 43. They are 1 and 2 in that category. Tom Milner's 2 machines, the 6 and the 10, are right behind in 3rd and 4th. So here's your battle for 2nd in GT. The 43 machine with Ekblom driving, Hans Stuck in the 6, trying to get to the inside as they come up the hill. Not quite enough as they head toward turn 7. There's Stuckey, though, on the outside. Takes a look there, and he won't be able to close the deal this time by either. Calvin Fish, you've been watching this GT battle, I know, from pit road. How do things stack up down there?
Well, it's very interesting, Rick. The one thing that we noted on the final pit stop they made under that caution, all 4 BMWs came in, and only the number 42 machine of Jörg Mueller actually changed to fresh tires. That really gave him some speed, and he immediately shot to the front of that pack. But I spoke to Tom Milner, who heads up the team PTG, the number 6 and 10 cars, and he said, this is very much like the Audi customer cars in as much as that they have 2 of those BMW engines come to them. They have BMW engineers stand there. They don't even know what revs they're really running. It runs much like the light system on the Audi that you've seen on the in cars, where they just see the lights come up. When it hits red, they switch gears. So it's a little bit of secrecy there from the BMW official factory, but certainly got good power in all 4 of those cars.
They do indeed have good power, and I think that's one of the controversies that the Porsche people are really upset about this car, because the V8 that is in this car is not similar to any other V8 by BMW in the whole world. It's a purebred race motor.
Now these are two-door coupes, the M3 bodies. Let's show you how they all started. They started 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. And the two separate teams, the white cars with the blue trim, those are the BMW, consider the factory teams. The PTG cars are the cars that you see with the dark blue roofs. Those are the cars Boris Said, Hans Stuck, Bill Auberlen, and Nick Janssen driving those cars. So you see where they stand right now. Let's get a little more on the drivability of these cars. Martin Haven standing by with one of the pilots for Team BMW.
JJ Leto, currently your car is leading the class, despite the fact that during the last yellow flag pit stops you came out in 4th place because Jorg took on some fresh tyres and a tank full of fuel. Will this get you to the end?
Well, you know, it was just a splash and dash anyway, you know, and that was a good time to do it. But Jorg flat-spotted the tires very badly. That's why we had to change them. And, you know, I was a little bit disagreeing, you know, the thing that why we have to change all 4. Why don't we just change the tire, you know, which was badly flat-spotted? But he really insisted to have 4 new ones. And, you know, I thought that that's going to be a really bad decision, you know, because all the cars are very equal. You know, there's hard racing and it's difficult to get by. But, you know, he did some brave overtakings and brave brakings, you know. So, you know, it seems to be that everything is going well at the moment. We are leading the race and, you know, he's controlling it pretty well.
Well, JJ was looking very frustrated when they made that pit stop, but you can see the smile on his face now, guys.
It certainly played out well for them. That 42 car, Jorg Mueller and JJ Leto leading the GT category, and they're 9th overall. One of the Cadillacs, the 7 car, back on the racetrack now. That's the car that wrecked during the morning warm-up, and they put the machine back together. They've had other problems today. Wayne Taylor's Cadillac out of action. We'll show you that in just a few moments. Here's John Field and that Lola Judd power machine, the red and blue 37, the Banana Joe's car. Well, Bill Adam has talked about how much fun it would be to drive one of these American Le Mans machines on the highway. This is the Golden Gate Bridge back on Wednesday. Bill, you weren't in any of these cars, were you?
Geez, I wish I was. I don't think I'd even have stopped at the toll gate. You're so low you'd have gone underneath the gate. And I am Scottish. I got to save that quarter.
That's Bill pedaling the bicycle that our camera crew was using, I think, there. One of the PTG BMWs there, one of Kevin Buckler's Racers Group Porsches, and a little escort.
Yeah.
There's the Celine.
That's it. You're speeding, fella. Pull over.
I think everyone was very careful to observe the posted speed limit on the Golden Gate. Family, we congratulate. Oh, and a spin, the GT battle between the BMWs, the 6 car, Hans Stuck battling with the 42 of Jorg Mueller. Stuckey turns the car around in the final quarter. It looks as though Mueller will win the GT battle. Stuck may get second, but no. Dirk Mueller's machine, Frederick Ekblom, in the 43 car now will get by.
Boy,
there's your winner in class in the 42, Jorg Mueller.
That would be interesting to listen to that conversation in the pit.
I think there will be some discussion of that.
There'd be a lot of bleeping of that one.
Here's Jorg Mueller in the 42 car. He is your GT category winner. Of course, the prototype 675 victory. The only car in that class, the 57 from Dick Barber Racing. Didier de Radiguet is finishing up in that car. They will finish 13th overall here today. One of the 4 factory BMW M3s with a new V8 power plant. The 42 car, JJ Leto started that car. Jorg Mueller will finish 7th overall and cop the class victory in GT for BMW. So a strong debut for that new combination of V8 motor, M3 chassis and body. Mueller grabs the GT honors here at Sears Point.
He too is one of the really, really fine drivers. I remember at the Petit Le Mans a couple of years ago.
Well, it was Jorg Mueller and JJ Leto who came out on top, and really strategy with the tires there on the final stop. Jorg won you the race, I believe.
Yeah, never change a winning team, thanks to JJ and my team. I mean, we were on a different tire strategy, as you said. We put on new tires, and yeah, the other fucked theirs quite heavily at the beginning, so I could pass them immediately. Also, thanks to my teammate and to the other 2 BMWs, I never had any problems to pass them. So, fantastic weekend.
Awesome job.
Thank you.
And let's show you what happened in the GT category here today as the fans enjoy lovely weather in Northern California. The BMW's dominant, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. The 2 factory cars from Germany, the 42 and the 43. And Tom Milner's 2 American factory cars finished 3rd and 4th. That will be a heated battle through the rest of the season.
Yes, it will. You know that Miller's not going to sit down. And even though the cars may be identical at birth, you always massage them. You put in your own little special tricks. And Milner has had such a good operation running over the last few years, running M3s, that he'll find something that's going to beat the European cars.